Welcome to a Harsh Reality broadcast on the 23rd of January 2014. The title of this presentation is called Optimism is Trumping Realism, well, for now at least. And you can see from this article in the Express that there is a feel-good factor for 2014 in the United Kingdom. And it is a feel-good factor. And that's all it is from my point of view. I can't see any real hard evidence supporting this. Here we go. The IMF likely to upgrade Britain's growth forecast. UK upgrade by the International Monetary Fund will underscore the speed at which sentiment about Britain's economy has changed. Again, it's sentiment. And we've had growth forecasts before with the IMF, and they've been wrong, and I suspect they'll be wrong this time. I can only see a temporary feel-good factor, and that's all I can see at the moment. Let's go on to something else. Here we go. UK unemployment drops to 7.1%. Jobless numbers to more than 4-year low, but Bank of England says no need to raise interest rates once 7% threshold is reached. Quite a while ago, the Bank of England said once we get down to 7%, they will start to increase the interest rates. Well, I wonder why they're not wanting to increase the interest rate. Surely that would be the sensible thing to do. And if we look a bit further on, Bank of England, no immediate need to raise rates. And this is going on within the United Kingdom. This is the news now, that there is no need to raise the interest rates. Well, from my point of view, there is every need to raise the interest rates. We cannot go on in this fairy tale situation for much longer. There is a need to raise it. So why on earth are they not going to do it? I'll tell you, they are worried about an economic collapse. It's got to happen sometime, so why not have it now whilst it's manageable? But no, they want to wait until it's going to get much worse down the line. Here we go. Now, I look at the alternative media for some reality. And this site I go on quite a lot, just to give me a bit of a contrast of actually what's going on. I do look at the mainstream media, but I do look at the alternative sites, and I come to my own conclusion when I've gathered all the data. But I think this is quite true. And it says here, Fed's dirty little secret, the gold isn't there, exists as paper IOUs. And I do believe that. And it says here, I'm going to read this out, the assumption by global depositors who have entrusted their national savings with the Federal Reserve and US governments has always been that when they request to repatriate their holdings, the Fed would simply open the vault, access said assets and ship them back to where they belong. That's exactly what Germany expected would happen last year when the country requested that the Federal Reserve return about a fifth of their gold reserves. But that's when things got really dicey. The Fed announced that Germany's gold would be returned, but it would take 7 years to get back home. The response to Germany's request turned heads all over the world and raised concerns that the Federal Reserve had squandered its gold holdings. But this isn't the only red flag that was raised. Public pressure reached such levels that the Fed was forced to take steps to maintain confidence in its operations, so it started shipping gold to Germany. Except it turns out that the gold being sent back to the Bundesbank wasn't actually German's gold. It contained none of the original serial numbers, had no hallmarks, and was reportedly just melted. Well, I don't think there's a lot of gold in the reserve banks. It's been leased out and rehypothecated. Okay, I cannot deny that there is an optimistic mood in the UK, and I really wish I could share the optimism. Indeed, the mainstream media have gone out of their way to paint a rosy picture. However, it does sadden me that the public do not have all the facts. people who follow my channel hopefully do not see me as a doom and gloom merchant, and again hopefully there is no sign of me being a sensationalist in an attempt to boost my ratings. All I do is try and report how I see things. We cannot deny the facts, and these are: there's too much debt in Western economies by over-leveraging. Why on earth people can't see that, I don't know. We've passed really the peak oil, and the baby boomers are retiring, all adding pressure. We desperately need politicians that tell it as it is. However, we're not going to get them. Why? Because the majority of the public are fickle and shallow. They prefer to watch so-called reality programmes. They have no idea of the big picture. Unfortunately, we have the politicians we deserve. They will promise the earth, deliver very little, and hope the collapse happens on somebody else's watch. And that's the harsh reality. I'm eagerly awaiting to see what's going to happen on the 7th of February, because that's when they've got to make a decision regarding the debt ceiling in the US. And to be honest, the debt is just getting larger and larger and larger, and they seem to think the solution is just to raise the debt ceiling, and all they're doing is deferring reality, and when reality hits, it's going to be catastrophic. Here we go, some reality, and I've got to search deep when I go for this. It's not headline news, and it says here, Davos 2014, global economy not safe until 2020, says Barclays chief Anthony Jenkins. They know the score. They know that we are still in a fragile position. Here we go, again from the Daily Telegraph. Fatal spiral of fiscal crisis threatens global economy in 2014. Ballooning debt levels in advanced economies pose biggest threat to the global economy, World Economic Forum report warns. I've been saying this for years. The biggest problem we have is debt. No one is facing this issue, and it's going to get far, far worse. I've said in previous videos that we've found ingenious ways to over leverage by the introduction of credit cards, subprime lending, and that awful time bomb that is yet to explode, derivatives. Make no mistake, we are not out of the woods, and it's very foolish of the mainstream media to give us that impression. It really is, because it's not preparing people for the harsh realities ahead. Okay, this is a graph I've shown before. The stock crash back in 1929 and today. And note, current trends are mirroring what was happening in 1929. Now, I have come to the conclusion it's very difficult to forecast when things will happen. But I am confident that the trend, and this is the trend, is downwards for our prosperity. I'm afraid the party is over, and it's a shame that the politicians have not relayed this to the people. There is a long time ahead of us with austerity. I don't want it. I certainly want the good times to continue, but I'm being realistic. So what have I done? Well, here's an order. I've recently purchased some more gold. People that have been following my channel know that I do purchase gold, only to diversify. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. Yes, I have the fiat currency in the bank. I have a basket of goods, so I don't diversify. I do diversify. I've got silver, I've got gold, property, and a bank account, but I don't put all my eggs in one basket. Okay, and I'm going to show you the coin that I recently purchased. It's an addition. It might not show up very well on the video camera, but I'll do my best. Here we go, and there is the Krugerrand that I've purchased. Nice coin, very popular collector's item, and that's the latest now to my collection. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Yes, a dose of harsh reality amongst all the optimism that's going along. I just cannot understand why people don't make the effort to see the bigger picture. Very few of us do, and it's going to be a shock to a lot of people. Thank you for listening to this video.